I'm Mike Schindel. I've met all of you before, and I'm so excited to see everybody again. So in my role, I primarily work with our international students who are coming to campus. So like Betty, Laura, Vicky, I worked with all you guys. But I get to see everybody, and I'm so happy to see everybody again. I've also studied abroad and had the opportunity to travel abroad as well. And I'm hoping we can just kind of do a nice, just open up conversation between all of us and just have a real more natural chat where we can all just interject and talk about our experiences in studying abroad and the benefits and everything like that too. So for today, we were thinking to get this conversation started. We want to ask what advice you would give yourself before studying abroad. Now that you've had this experience and you've traveled and done all that, what would you tell yourself before traveling? And I know for me, my first time traveling abroad on my own was when I was in high school. I went to Italy. It was like a host family exchange thing. And before I went, I breezed through Italy, but I didn't like stop and like read the little plaques in the museums or get the audio guides on the tours and stuff. So like I saw this beautiful touristy stuff, but I didn't know what it was or why it was important. So I think now I've incorporated that. I take the time to get a tour or an audio guide or whatever, just to learn about the country I'm in and to kind of appreciate it a little bit more. So that's something I would tell myself. What about you all? What are your experiences? If anyone has any thoughts, something you would tell yourself before you travel that's been impacted by that experience?
Well, perhaps I'll go first to get things kind of rolling. My advice to myself and anybody that goes on the study abroad trips that we run now is just say yes. Say yes to anything. Make sure it's safe, but if it's something, outside of your comfort zone, just step outside for a minute and try it. There's a reason why it's happening there. It's there has to be something there that's drawn other people into it. So just, whatever comes your way, as long as it's safe, say yes.
Vicky, you want to jump in?
Yeah, so it's actually very similar to what Jana said, especially this year in February when I was in Belgium. I was saving some trips for the whole semester, and I only got to do a few because of what happened in March with the whole pandemic. So my advice right now would be, don't postpone that trip or don't wait, just do it now. And if you have to travel every weekend for 1 month and then just stay home every single weekend after, then do that. But don't postpone your plans. Just go for it and you'll find a way, you'll find the money, you'll find the time if you can actually keep it going, but just don't wait. And especially now, like if you can do it this weekend or tomorrow or today, just do it.
Absolutely.
I can totally agree with what Vicky just said. So what's the advice you would give yourself? And I would tell myself that it's going to be the best time of your life. I think if I had known that before, maybe I wouldn't have been that nervous to step out of my comfort zone. But in some way, I think that's just part of the whole experience. So it's good to be a little bit nervous. And in the end, yeah, like I said, it was the best time ever. So I'm really glad that you're doing this thing, or that we're doing this thing here right now, because it's so great to see everyone. And I still miss Southern and the other, our friends. I think Vicky, some of them, Enzo and everyone, they wanted to participate too, but they couldn't. So yeah, I will totally share this whole experience with them.
I'll go. It was, in general, plan more. I'm just one of those people where I just go with the flow, and I just got an opportunity, told my mum and dad, and went. And then it was kind of clothing, home, money, and so things like that. And then looking from home, England home, I would have planned a bit more of when the train was coming, because one time I got in America and I didn't have a train to the university, and it was 3 a.m. and I don't know how I did it, but I just did it. And then luckily Vicky, Laura and I had really good friends, so they came and picked us up. Yeah, and also we've taken, I do think, like a couple of days ago, I was thinking, because somebody asked me if I went here, there and everywhere. And to be honest, because we were playing football, soccer, we were just so focused on training that we actually didn't go to a lot of places. And now I would go somewhere every single weekend. So I agree with, is it Patty and Vicky on that? And do I say it right? Jana. So yeah, thank you.
I agree. I think my kind of thought process when I was studying abroad was like, I'm an Italian major. I'm going to be in Italy. I specifically chose this city that I'm in, want to get the most out of it, especially with like language fluency and a whole bunch of other things. And then I had some people in my program that really were there and wanted to travel to a new place every weekend. And I could not wrap my head around that for like the first like 3 weeks, because like, how are you not exhausted already? And I'm an introvert, so that really wasn't like, never really crossed my mind to like live life that way. But I now looking back, probably could have gone out of my comfort zone a little more, and kind of wish I was a little bit, at least I'd given a little bit more thought to taking advantage of traveling more places. Although that might just be kind of like the pandemic quarantine, like hindsight type of thing too. So maybe I'm a little skewed at the moment.
Yeah, same thing. I would tell myself to do a solo trip, which is something I was very ready for to do by the end of it. And I had the time, I had the money, but I just couldn't get myself to literally hop over to Ireland. That was like my goal. And I just couldn't get myself to do it. So I would definitely tell myself, like, go for that trip, even if it's just another city in the same country, like you can do it. I recently did it, actually. I went to Portland, Maine, and had the best time doing a solo trip. So I kind of made up for my past, but I would tell myself, you got this, you can do it. Yeah.
Well, my advice would be, if possible at all, try to spend as long abroad as possible. I was abroad, studying abroad for 2 semesters, and I think I really benefited from that, because if you're somewhere for 1 semester, you just like accept the situation, everything the way it is, and you think, yeah, not everything is perfect, but I'm just gonna suck it up. It's 4 months, and I just try to take as much out of it as possible. But if you're somewhere for a longer time and you know, okay, I'm gonna stay in this place for let's say the next 9 or 12 months, then you are willing to invest more to like really reach a point where you feel really comfortable. And like in general, I lived abroad twice, both times for like almost a year. And both times I was struggling for at least the first 3 months until I found kind of like my setting, my bubble inside and outside of university, of campus, like friendships and all. And I think I really benefited from that. And it is like really long lasting friendships from which I profit until today. And I think that would have not been the same experience if I had just been at Southern for just 1 semester.
Something about, sorry, do you want to go, Chris?
No, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. So something about my experience when I was abroad, to give a little bit of context, I was a first-generation college student, and I had never left the East Coast of the United States before going abroad for a semester, and traveling was like not really a thing in the people that were closest to me. So money was a big stressor for me when I was going abroad, like thinking about like, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay for this? Am I going to like make it back, you know? But I think if I were to give myself advice now, looking back, I would say that I should, you know, have a plan, have a budget, of course, but, you know, don't get caught up in all the minor details. The money will work out. It'll come back eventually, even if you're set back for a little while, but really taking advantage of the opportunities in front of you while you're there and living in the moment is so important.
My advice to myself would be to relax, because I had a really rough time that first semester. And this is from someone so before I went to university, I I traveled in the United States quite a lot. So I was someone who was I was used to traveling. I love doing it. And that's kind of why I wanted to do a study abroad. And because everything didn't go exactly how I thought it was going to go, I just freaked out. So I was the amazing people there, you know, Aaron and Michael, who I was working with a lot, really helped me get through that. And then eventually I ended up coming back for another semester. So I would just say, and I had the best time, and it's changed my life completely. And I was able to then do a lot of the things that you were all saying. I was able to kind of travel around a lot. I traveled to Atlanta. I traveled to multiple different places. I used to go to New York fairly often. So I would just say, yeah, relax, be open. If things don't go exactly how you were going, you have help. you can go and talk to people if you're having a trouble time. And yeah, that would be my advice to myself for sure.
The schedules that the faculty create on our short courses, it's a different experience than a long course, but it's curated. It's the things that they select are done for a reason. So you kind of have to just give up a little bit of control over what you're going to do and how you're going to schedule your day and the things that you would choose to do versus what is a group activity. But if you do that, then you're open to a ton of new experiences that you wouldn't have necessarily chosen on your own. I think that's probably what Christina was going for, because that's a big topic on the short course study abroads that we go on. Just kind of gotta let it go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I went on 3 study abroads, and they were all 2 weeks, and it's like hard and fast. You know, you meet at the university, you get in the bus, you look around. Those people are going to be your best friends for the next 2 weeks. Okay, they're all you have. So, yeah, I think it's important to just, go with the flow, enjoy yourself, and luckily, most of the time, I didn't find that difficult, but I guess for advice, maybe just I would keep a journal if I could go back. There's a lot of things that, people that were on the trip with me, I might have forgotten, and Jana will say, do you remember this? And I'm like, no, I don't, but I wish I did. So a journal would have been a great idea, but it's just so fast paced and exciting that I never thought to do it in the moment.
It's so funny when you talk about journaling, because we were supposed to, I remember one of our assignments was keeping this journal, and it's almost difficult to write down all the things that happened to you in a short period of time. It's just so hectic and crazy with this big group. But I agree with you, Julie. I think I would have liked to have that, just, refresh my thoughts of what all was going on during that crazy experience.
Do we have anybody who hasn't answered that yet?
I can answer. Sorry, I just stepped out and take a phone call. Yeah, for advice that I would give myself, I wrote down something. I think I wrote something down different in the email. But what I've been thinking through is there's 2 things. One is that I was so worried going into the experience about okay, how am I going to make friends, or how am I going to get to know people in a totally new place? And then I realized that actually, once I was actually there, that those types of things come quite naturally, because you're surrounded by a whole community of people who have similar goals to you. They're all studying too, whether they're from the school and are locals there, or if they're traveling abroad. Everyone there is, for the most part, has similar interests, similar goals to you. And I was also fortunate enough to go to a school, I think, that had 300 international students. So the second part of my advice is that I'd give myself is I realized quite quickly how, and I'm sorry if any of this is repetitive, by the way, but I realized how quickly, how easy it is to band together with other people who are studying abroad, or other people who are from other countries. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great to make connections with people who we have similar interests with, or similar backgrounds as. But with that said, you still want to go out of your way and really make sure that you're making connections with all different types of people who are different from you, people who live or from the country in which you're visiting, because you're there to like learn about another country, there to learn about another like cultures and things like that. So I think I did this to some extent. I only wish I did it more. But I always made it like an effort to like stay in touch with whoever my mentor was, like in Spain, make sure I get like lunch or dinner with a couple of the local students like every week, just to make sure that I'm like, you know, integrating myself in some way for the temporary time that I'm there.
Timo.
Timo.
Hi, Timo.
Can you hear me?
We can now, yes.
Sorry for being late. I had a few technical problems. I'm not sure if I got the question right. Is it what I would recommend myself, like my past self? Well, basically, I could have been a little more organized before the trip. I was clearing my like making sure my funding is correct, and is there a little late. So the organizer on the German side and of my university here, who's traveling back and forth between America and Germany, she was a little worried because I actually like had my girlfriend like I don't know the English word, but she if I didn't come up with the money, she would have to pay it, and the organizer was like really worried about that. But other than that, like taking things relaxed really helped when I was there, and it helped not like getting crazy before the trip. So there's ups and downs to that. The trip itself is, I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. That's why it was such a great experience. I mean, I found a good balance between what other people said. I found a good balance between the guys who went there also to study abroad and the like people from the US itself. I did a fair amount of traveling. Could have been a few more trips here and there, but I even skipped some weeks of school to travel. So I think it. And the advice of doing like as much time as possible is really great. For example, our university in Germany didn't even offer one semester stays because they said it's so much effort to prepare to go there that 8-9 months is the least you should do. And that was really good advice because as mentioned before here, after 3-4 months you really get settled, you get used to like the everyday life, and it's not like not everything is new and exciting anymore, but you get accepted by the people there. You're not the special guy from abroad anymore, but you don't get as much special treatment, so you get to know the actual life a little better. So yeah.
Ricky, do you want to chime in? Have you had a chance to see it?
So I don't know, it's been such a long time, honestly. I don't think I would change anything either. Like the only small thing would be to not take 8 a.m. classes. Like the first semester I went Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that was just a bad decision.
You took EDM
Other than
classes?
Yeah, I think it was the only one available in creative writing. So I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Okay.
But then I don't know, it was not a good decision. I mean, the class was great, but still.
Anybody else?
What does it stand for?
Like 8 a.m. in the
8
morning.
a.m.
Ah, so I thought classes in EDM and electronic dance music. I totally got it wrong. Okay. Okay, thanks for clarifying.
Some of us took 6 a.m. training, but it was mainly the reason why we were there, so we couldn't really choose.
Yeah, no. Well, I think like my experience is a little different because when I came to the US to study abroad, like I'm still actually here. So because I've been here for so many years, it's not really like a study abroad experience. Like this is my home now. So if I were to study abroad again,
I think one of the very important things someone mentioned before is make connections with the people that live there, because they're the ones that know like what places to bring you, and it's really nice to like learn about other cultures and like what holidays they have, and join them for those things. So I think if you meet the right people, the experience could be very positive. And then the budget obviously is important, because if you have that well planned, you'll be able to go wherever you want to. And it's important to like go to every single place that you would like to go, and not like stay back. So yeah, that's what I would do if I went somewhere right now.
Do we have anybody else?
I probably would have given myself advice to take like a safety or like self-defense kind of course or something like that. I still probably should as a solo traveler now. But yeah, it's always good to just like be able to defend yourself if needed.
I want to detail, obviously, Jana and Aaron and Michael as well. As the Programs Abroad coordinator, it's really just a pleasure to be able to send students abroad in the world and help them, to grow and mature and strengthen their intrapersonal as well as their interpersonal skills. And, seeing how you've all excelled in that and how you're all shining this bright light on the world and representing, so much good in this world. I as well cannot wait to hear more details and much more in depth about your experiences and where you are now in life, and what you have learned from your study abroad for the rest of your life as well. So thank you.